Okay, welcome back. What I'm going to show you in this tutorial is how to create a working drawing, a professional looking drawing like this one using Fusion 360. So to do that, and I'm actually going to close this and we're going to start again from scratch, so I won't save it. So first thing you need to do is open the carry tray, the completed carry tray that you've done. So in the data panel, double click and that should open shortly. There it is. From there you go over to here and go down to drawing from design. We click that. For this one, yes, it's going to be a full assembly. We're going to create a new drawing. The template should say from scratch, and you need to set that one to ISO, the units are millimeters, and it works best if we have the sheet size set at A3. Once those things are set there, click OK, and here's the blank page, and we've got our base view, and it says place base view. That's actually a bit small, so I'm not going to click yet, but what I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do is change the scale so it says 1 to 3, and that will adjust the size there. And what you want is the front view. If it doesn't look like what I've got, we go over to here to orientation and click through until you find the view that is the front view. Despite what it might say, it doesn't really matter what it says, but make sure it looks like that. And once you're happy, simply click and it'll place it in there, in place. If you are not happy with where you've placed it, we can move it later, and click OK. If you're not happy with where you've placed it, click that little grey in the middle and you can go and move it somewhere else. If you got the size wrong, you went and clicked before I said, you right click and go to edit view, go back into scale, and you can change it. I'm actually going to change one thing here. Where it says style, go into the second one and set it to visible and hidden edges. That's a more professional drawing if we do that. And click close. Next we need to create the views. It's very simple. We go up here to projected view. And what it's asking you to do is select the parent view, which is this one. So click once and move the cursor up. That'll create a top view. Wherever you move the cursor, it's going to create views in those places. But we simply want to create a top view. So click and move the cursor over to the side and click, and we'll also create an orthogonal view somewhere up in this top right corner, and click. And when you're done, do what it says and press enter. And remember, if you went and clicked everywhere, Control Z is undo. Well, there's an undo button up here. But once you're happy, press enter. And again, middle square, and we can drag our views around. Notice if you drag this view, the parent view, it also keeps the other ones in line with it, which is what you need for a proper drawing. I'll move this one a little bit closer. I need to move this one down. And alright, on this view here, we want to create a make it look realistic. So I'm going to right click, edit view. This dialog comes up. Now we're going to change the style. We don't want it to say from parent, we actually want it to be shaded, and that should adjust so it's a shaded view. Close. Next thing we're going to do is put some dimensions in place. That's this tool here, and we simply click on the dimension button, and I'm going to zoom in to make it a bit easier, and click in a corner, see the endpoints, and click in the other endpoint, move it down, click again. That places the dimension. It's going to go through and place the most important dimensions that we need for this. Not a lot, just like the drawing that we did in class. We only place the ones that are needed. Alright, for this circular one, click on the edge of the circle and it changes it to a diameter dimension. For the radius here, it'll be a radial dimension. That's what the R means. Yeah, I think we need to do this one. And try and keep it in line with this one. It looks better if you can keep them in line. The only other one we might need is the thickness. I think that's enough dimensions. Yes, I'm happy with that. Alright, the last thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to put a bit of detail to show you how the joint is made. So to do that, we're actually going to go back to our main design. We're going to go this back down to the drawing from design. We're going to take the tick off full assembly. That's important, and we want to select a component. So in this case, we're just going to select this and click that once. We're not going to create a new drawing, so we're going to go unless I've saved it, it's going to be called untitled. You can see it there. We're not going to create a new sheet. We're actually going to put it in sheet 1. That's in the drawing that we've done. So make sure it's set to look like that. Click OK. It'll flick us over here, and we're going to change the scale to match what we had before, which is 1 to 3. And now we need to change the view so we're looking at it correctly. So that's under orientation. And it's going to be one of these isometric ones. No, that's not a good view. Southeast. No, that's not quite right. So just keep clicking through until you find that's the best view. Actually might make that a little bit bigger. So if we make it smaller there, that'll make that big. Okay, I'm happy with that. And click. And we'll leave that as visible in the hidden edges. Scale of 1 to 2. Everything else we can leave the same. Click OK. There it is. I'm going to label it. So I'm going to click on the text, and I'm just going to put it about here somewhere. Whoop. And I'm going to just say joint detail. Arial's okay, 3.5's okay, everything is there okay. Click close. The other thing I'm going to do is go into this one with the leader text. It's asking me to select an edge. This inside edge will do here. And we're going to type. I'm going to change this though so it's not so big. Change it to 2.5 millimeters. And type. This joint was a 12 millimeter by 8 millimeter. Press enter. A rebate joint. Now I'm happy with that, and I'll click close. If you don't like where it's placed, the grey square, you can move it around. I'm going to do the same for this T-halving joint here. So we'll select that edge. It's okay. Again, we'll change that to 2.5. Everything else there is okay. And this was 30 millimeters by 6 millimeters deep. And it was called a T. And close. Alright, that's the basics of how to create a drawing. If you wanted to edit anything in this title box, double click, and there we go. We can change some details in there as you need to, and it will place them in the boxes for you. And we can click save. Yes, I'll save it there. Yep, that name's okay. And click save. make sure you wait for that to finish uploading before you close the program. And we're done.